Okay, good afternoon. It's been a while. I haven't actually read one of my poems for a very long time. There's been a lot going on in the last few months, and I've done a lot of reading. I've done a lot of reading about the microbiome, mitochondrial health, etc., because my heart is still, well, it hasn't repaired itself, so I'm trying to find out as much about my mitochondrial diseases as possible and find ways to negate the decline in my heart. Because for those of you who might not know, my heart got down to it's down to about 20 to 25% of function on the left ventricle, which means things are a bit difficult, more difficult. So I spent a lot of time eating correctly, reading, exercising, and doing all that kind of stuff to hopefully prolong my life, or to eke out as much time and function for my heart and my basic metabolism and how my body functions. But the most interesting thing I've read about is mitochondrial disease, and I just wasn't aware of how important our mitochondrial is and the production of energy in each cell with the help of the mitochondrial in each cell and the mitochondrial DNA and the nucleus DNA. And I've been reading, and one book in particular I've read several times, and basically the production of energy comes from the mitochondrial in our cells, which is a living bacteria and makes up about 10% of our body weight. 10% of our body weight is made up by mitochondrial bacteria that live in every cell in our body except those for red blood cells, and produces what's called ATP. I'm not going to turn this into a science lesson, but what I found fascinating, what dawned on me today, is there is a kind of well, there's three things. There's our body, and then there's the microbiome, which is bacteria in our intestine, which helps gather the energy to feed our mitochondria. And it's a kind of a 3-point mutual system of living. Without our microbiome and without our mitochondrial and without our cells and bodies, our bodies wouldn't function, and we will all cease to exist. So it's requires a lot of cooperation between the microbiome and mitochondria in our bodies to actually have one living thing. And it struck me today, being raised as a Catholic in my childhood, that it's a Trinity, and this put me in mind of the Trinity, the Holy Trinity that I was raised with as a child, believing in, which is the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. And so, anyway, I wrote a poem. So I'm going to read the poem, and I wrote this poem today on the 19th of December 2024. Our bathroom is being done over, so if you hear banging, it's going to be coming from the plumbing. I've called this the Trinity. So here we go. This is the poem, the Trinity. Raised with the Trinity, Catholicism's trope, then aging and learning of our biological hope. Father, Son, and Holy Spirit echoes life's triangle of human body, microbiome, and our mitochondrial power. The three are one, rely on each other. Without a one, there's really is none. We need them, they need us, and life needs all in unison. Listen, you will hear, each requesting its needs to survive as one. 3 lives as one, a Trinity, by Bunny. Anyway, there we go. There's about 4 other poems I've written over the last year. I will get round to doing those, but my New Year's resolution is to spend more time doing poetry and creating footage for my YouTube channel. Not that anyone ever looks at it, and not that there's a lot of followers, but I enjoy doing it, and I've got the time. So anyway, that's the poem The Trinity. Catholicism still obviously has a hold on me and the way my brain functions, and if you want to find out something, look into things, something interesting, just find out about our microbiome and how that functions as an individual bacteria, and more importantly our mitochondrial, which lives as a bacteria in every cell in our body, bar one, and it produces the energy, ATP, that our bodies need to survive. It's absolutely amazing. A lot of science involved with it. Anyway, this is Bunny saying, nice to be back. I don't know. This is Bunny. Bunny out.